Hare Krishna, Dandavats, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Vanchakalpa, Trivibhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Oh, thank you so much I'm honored to share with you my small experience. Actually not so small, because we did travel 3 months with Srila Prabhupada in India with my 3-year-old son. So I had a bit of an experience with traveling with Srila Prabhupada and the whole conception of householder life. I had done, by that time, I had been a pujari, I'd cooked for Srila Prabhupada, I'd done book distribution, I had done a lot of different sewing for the deities. There's so many services that I was very honored and joyfully. I sculpted the first Lord Chaitanya deity that they made a mold out of. I was involved in the tulsi planting. Jai Shri and I were given by Govinda dasi the seeds, which we planted the first tulsis. I was very honored to be engaged in so many wonderful services. But of all the services that I ever did for Srila Prabhupada, the one that I saw that he was the most pleased with was the second generation. How he responded to my son was just like amazing, actually. He was so merciful, he was so pleased. He would make notice of him. Like when we were traveling in Mumbai, Gopal Krishna Maharaj's son was riding on Srila Prabhupada's lap. He was the temple president in Mumbai, and his wife, Ekiani, was, she would always have his son right there, and every day when we would pick Srila Prabhupada up and drive him to the temple, his son would sit on his lap, and that was really beautiful. So one day they weren't there. So my son was really excited, and he was like, "Oh, Mataji, I want to ride on Prabhupada's lap. I want to ride on Prabhupada's lap." And I wasn't anybody. I was just Srila Prabhupada's Shisha, but not in any big position. So I was saying, "Shh, be quiet, quiet, quiet." And Srila Prabhupada heard him, so he said, come with me. So he sat my son on his lap, and he was stroking his sika. So he really did care about the second generation. He loved the second generation so much. And he called him his dancing white elephant. All the Indians would gather around and really, really enjoy the children, our beautiful children. So in Hawaii, Srila Prabhupada came, and he would always give out the cookies to all the children. And my son was very well behaved. He would sing and dance right in front of Srila Prabhupada, accept the cookie, and every day I made sure that he had a garland to give to Srila Prabhupada, and every day Srila Prabhupada gave him one of his garlands. There was this beautiful exchange. It was a rasa. And so as a Mataji, I mean, there couldn't have been any single thing that Srila Prabhupada could have ever done to have enlivened me like anything. He did that. But also he was firm too, because when my son was only 2 weeks old and he was swaddled in a blanket, so he looked a lot bigger, I was going on a morning walk with Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada said, "Can he walk?" And I said, "No, Srila Prabhupada, he can't walk." And he said, "But if he can walk, he should walk." So 20, 30 years later, I ponder that instruction. And I realized that Srila Prabhupada, it was prophetic. His mouth to Krishna's ears, he could see that it was an instruction I would really need to think of strongly and adhere to his lotus feet on, because there's been the challenges along the way in which that instruction that Srila Prabhupada gave me became my core directive. So not only was he encouraging, he was also firm. And there were the two things, he is encouraging me and in my motherhood and my motherly bhav by always finding pleasure and benedicting, like on a couple of occasions when Srila Prabhupada would take the Charnamrita, because he stayed in Hawaii a bit, so he would take the Charnamrita and he would put his wash water on my son's head, and I would just jump for joy, because wow, to get the mercy, to have my son get so much mercy like that. And Srila Prabhupada would say, he's a big devotee, he was a great devotee in a previous life, so I felt so encouraged. So I could understand that Srila Prabhupada was very, very pleased and with our second generation, and by training them nicely in Krishna consciousness, teaching them how to be well behaved, teaching them the proper etiquettes of offering the spiritual master garlands daily and everything. Srila Prabhupada was so merciful to us all. I hope that's enough, and but all I could say is Prabhupada's mercy was on us all, and he said that my householders are just like sannyasis. I mean, we literally worked for Srila Prabhupada without counting the number of hours in the day. We literally served as much as we could for his pleasure. We did anything that he asked us, and the standards that he set for us were our pleasure. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,